Welcome to the updated timekeeping module. In this episode, we'll take a deep dive into the module and explore the new and revised features. To get started, open the Fieldclix app on your phone, log in and go to the timekeeping module. You'll see the clock in screen. Before you clock in, you may need to resolve some solicited timekeeping requests. These are requests from a time card reviewer for additional information that is required to complete the time card. Or you may be prompted to allocate your time card hours manually between suggested work orders. Before we jump into the clock-in section, let's take a quick peek at the top bar of the clock-in screen together. This area is where you'll find several buttons including send a comment on the current day's time card, for example, to inform your supervisor of any important details. The comment will be saved in the time card history and will be displayed prominently in the time card review interface. The balance button displays your sick and vacation hours balances. The requested not completed column shows your PTO, vacation, or sick hours you requested, but a TK manager or reviewer hasn't yet approved them. When the available to request column shows how many sick or vacation hours you can still request in the accrual period, which can be a payroll period, calendar year, and so on. The button that opens the time card of the current day. In the time card, you can see the general information such as the review status. Switch between tabs to see the list of requests and an option to submit a new one. You can also see your clock time, how many hours are finally approved, and if there are any unallocated hours. The calendar. Open it up to view your working hours, the review state of time cards, the stage of time adjustment, time off, and miscellaneous requests. You can also access the calendar to view the summary of hours you have been paid for each payroll period. We are now back in the clock-in section. As we mentioned earlier, there may be requests that you need to resolve before you clock in. We'll show you how to do that. If you don't see this option, no worries. Just skip this part. Tap the day. This will open the time card and request screen for the selected day. Look at the solicited request details and comments sent by a time card reviewer or TK manager. Tap the green arrow to reply to the request. This will open the timekeeping request card in edit mode. Provide additional information as required. For example, complete the time adjustment request with clock in and clock out times, lunch breaks, or work order allocation. Make sure to leave a comment. When you are finished, tap the green plane icon to submit the request. If you'd like to learn more about submitting timekeeping requests in the Fieldclix mobile app, read our knowledge base. Before you can clock in, there's just one more thing to do. It's manual time allocation between work orders. The app will prompt you to manually allocate time in a time card. 1. If your user is set up to always allocate time. 2. Or if the user is set up to manually allocate time when some could not be automatically allocated based on GPS. This may only be necessary on occasional days. Now tap the Allocate Time Card button. This will open the time card allocation screen. This shows the list of work orders available for allocation. Normally, you will see a number of scheduled work orders. However, if you've been assigned the role of non-dispatch, you'll see Shadow Dispatch work orders here. These are work orders that we don't create a dispatch for, but we'd still like to have them available for time allocation. For example, some office and warehouse work orders fall into this category. The logic of manual time allocation is the same as in the previous version of the app. So to find out more about when you're prompted to allocate time and which work orders you see there, visit our knowledge base. To allocate time to a work order, select it and estimate your working hours. If there is more than one time card required for manual allocation, just switch to it and complete the allocation. Once you've done that, tap the green plane icon to save your allocation. Now you're ready to start tracking your hours. Before we clock in, it's important to know when the application collects GPS data. It does this for employees who use the timekeeping module. It doesn't do this for employees assigned to the mobile fixed location role who previously clocked in using the wall devices. The app only receives your GPS location during the clock-in and clock-out session, which we call a work shift. Location must be enabled on the device. GPS permissions should also be given to the Fieldclix app. To start your working day and record your hours, tap the clock-in button. Here you may be prompted to give the app location permission if you haven't done so directly in the device settings. For Android, select Precise Location and allow all the time. For iOS, toggle on Precise Location and select Always. The app will also inform you about the background location access. Tap OK to close the window and continue. Once you've tapped the clock-in button and adjusted the location permission, the app will ask you to take a selfie photo, if this feature is enabled for you. Take a picture and save it. Again, give the app access to your camera if it didn't have it before. After you save your clock-in photo, the app might show you the attestation screen if your company has this feature turned on for you. If you don't see the attestations part, fast forward the video a few seconds. Review the attestations and accept to continue clocking in. Or if the No option is provided, select it to decline the attestation. You should only decline the attestation if something has gone wrong, like if you missed a lunch. Enter any comments you may have. Then just tap the clock-in button and let the time tracking begin. From then on, the app tracks your location to create your time card and allocate to jobs. For better GPS data, we recommend that you keep your phone with you and do not close the app. On the work shift screen you will see, when you clocked in, the time and date when you will be force clocked out if you do not manually clock out before. Please note that employees who are allowed to work overnight are forced to clock out 23 hours after clocking in. You'll also find information about the total clocked and work time. Clock time is the time from the last clock in to the current time. Work time is calculated by subtracting recorded lunch breaks from total clock time. At the bottom of the work shift screen, you'll see 2 additional features that can be enabled for you based on the roles that have been assigned. The lunch tool has also been updated, and the process of recording a lunch has been streamlined. The most significant enhancement is the ability to conveniently adjust the lunch time during the work shift. The functionality of manual time allocation to a work order in the mobile app remains the same. So if you want to remember how this tool works and which work orders are available for allocation, please visit our knowledge base. Time to clock out. In this last part of our tutorial video, we'll show you how to clock out in the Fieldclix mobile app. Review your workday summary on the work shift screen. When you're ready to stop time tracking, just tap the clock out button. If you're allowed to adjust your clock out time, you'll see this option on your screen. No worries if you forgot to clock out on time. Just use the time picker to set the time and tap confirm. Then tap the clock out button. Some employees also have clock out attestations. If you see the attestation screen, read and confirm. Or select No and enter comments. Tap the clock out button. Finally, take a selfie if the app asks. Save it to end your work shift. To view the work shift hours, open the time card. On the top bar, tap the time card for the current day. Or, go to the calendar and select a day for a time card you want to review. Please note that most of the details for the current day's time card will not be available for review until the next day. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new content.